I was in a car accident on my way to a prenatal checkup, and when I woke up, the fetus in my womb was already dead. I was heartbroken and cried all day, only to unexpectedly discover that the car accident was designed by my husband. He deliberately modified the brake system just to obtain the umbilical blood of the fetus in my womb to save his son with leukemia from his ex-wife. After their child was rescued, he was healthy and thriving, and the family lived happily together. My child went away without even seeing their mother, and I, too, became disabled in a car accident and can no longer take care of myself. I went to confront them, but was humiliated, scolded, and beaten to death by the two of them. As soon as I opened my eyes, I was reborn back to the day of the pregnancy checkup. This time, I touched the fetus in my belly and silently vowed, since heaven has allowed us to live, then let them die. Eleanor, I have something to do today. Are you okay with the prenatal checkup by yourself? As soon as I opened my eyes, my husband Lucien Gu was looking at me with concern. I found myself nestled on the sofa, surrounded by soothing piano music. The heavy belly conveyed a slight fetal movement, and my seemingly numb disabled legs were now rhythmically tapping. But haven't I already? I caught a glimpse of the calendar on the wall. I understood in an instant. I was reborn, and I went back to the day of the prenatal checkup. This day will be the moment my soul enters the night. What's wrong? Is the baby kicking you again? Lucien Gu saw me holding my stomach and wrapped me in his arms, whispering in my ear, "No, I can go by myself, it's fine, I'm going back to the room to tidy up first." Thinking of the various things from my last life, I felt a wave of nausea in my heart and subconsciously pushed him away. When I went back to the bedroom, I took the bag he often carried into the room while he wasn't paying attention. After tidying up the clothes, I faintly heard Lucien Gu's impatient voice coming from the living room. "Can you stop rushing me? I'm more anxious than you are. Everyone in Sichuan City is mine. Where can she run? Don't worry." In the last life, he explained that the debtor had run away, but now I clearly know. The person on the other end of the phone is his ex-wife, Su Xiaomai. Their 8-year-old son has leukemia and wants to use the cord blood from my unborn child to save him. Knowing that I have 2 months until my due date, they cannot agree to a premature cesarean section, so they are trying to scheme against me in every way possible. I pushed the door open, and Lucien Gu hurriedly stuffed the phone into his pocket and lit a cigarette. When he saw the luggage in my hand, he frowned. "Honey, what do you need it for during the prenatal checkup?" "What for? Of course, it's to guard against you, you demon." However, I still explained it with kind words. "There's still 2 months until the due date, right? I want to finish my checkup and go home to see my mom. Otherwise, it will be even more inconvenient in a few days." Lucien Gu seemed a bit hesitant. He stood by the window, gazing at the distant parking lot, and after a moment, exhaled a large cloud of smoke. "Well, then I'll see you off." Lucien Gu insisted on taking me to the car. He put the luggage in the trunk, and when he saw me get in the car, he whispered a few words to the driver, Xiao Liu. As the phone rang, it must be Su Xiaomai urging him again. He rushed off. "Madam, please fasten your seatbelt." Master Liu smiled and reminded me. I sneered, "Is fastening the seatbelt really going to make it safe? What, do you hope that the 3 of us, along with the baby in my belly, die looking good?" Master Liu was taken aback, perhaps not expecting me to say it so straightforwardly. He lowered his head, a bit at a loss. "Madam, I know you are not speaking from your heart," I interrupted him. "How much did Lucien offer you to harm me?" "I'll give you double." "What money?" To be honest, my wife is about to have surgery for cancer, and I need to get home quickly. Although I don't understand why Mr. Gu specifically asked me to hurry, I think that no matter how urgent it is, I must ensure you and the young master get there safely. Master Liu comes from the countryside. He is honest and kind. He rubbed his hands and didn't seem to be lying. I couldn't help but recall the events of my previous life. The car lost control while making a turn. Master Liu struggled to pull the handbrake, resulting in a rollover and being rear-ended. He died on the spot, and I was left disabled. The car was under maintenance, and it was said that there was a problem with the brake system. I felt something was off because this car had just been serviced a few days ago. After some investigation, I found out that it was Lucian Gu who had tampered with it. While checking the accounts, I discovered that Gu Xing had given a substantial to Liu Shifu's wife, so I have always believed that Master Liu wanted to sacrifice himself for his wife to receive money for her treatment, but now I finally understand, he was also deceived by Lucian Gu. Lucian Gu is really something. In order to clear himself completely, he is willing to sacrifice innocent people and fabricate a car accident. Thinking of this, I stuffed the bank card into Liu Master's pocket. There's 500,000 in here, you don't need to send me off. Go home, your wife must need you very much at this time. I only hope you can keep this secret for me. Liu Master said he wouldn't take anything at all. I forcibly stuffed the bank card into his pocket and drove him off the bus. He pushed open the car window, tears in his eyes. Madam, you are a good person, and you and your child will be safe for a lifetime. Yes, it will definitely happen. I hurriedly pushed my luggage onto the road, with rustling sounds behind me. They are a few bodyguards of Lucian Gu. It seems that every move I make is under his control. They are going to take action no matter what today. The Gu family is powerful, there's no use in my escape. As long as the wicked do not die, there will ultimately be no peaceful day. I touched my belly, comforting the flesh and blood I had never met but deeply cared about. Mom didn't protect you and herself well in the last life, allowing the evil ones to succeed. But don't worry, in this life, I will definitely make them pay with their lives. I hailed a taxi and deliberately raised my voice. Driver, to the Provincial Maternal and Child Health Hospital, in the private consultation room, Dr. Sun looked serious after finishing the four-dimensional ultrasound. Miss Fu, please sit here and rest for a while. I will be back shortly. As he spoke, he thoughtfully handed over a cup of boiled water. I took a gentle sip, after he left. I spat the water back out, then I rinsed my mouth wildly with mineral water, pouring it all over the flowers on the balcony. In my previous life, I was betrayed by the person closest to me. In this life, I trust no one. I secretly recorded the four-dimensional video and sent it to my little sister. She is also an outstanding obstetrician. Sister, the fetus is fine, everything is normal, what's wrong? Sure enough, Dr. Sun has been bribed. I'll tell you when I get back. I calmly took out my headphones from the bag. In the morning, I returned to my room and deliberately sewed the listening device into the compartment of the bag that Lucian Gu often uses. The listening device transmitted Su Xiaomei's crying voice. When is the surgery? Nan can't wait any longer. Dr. Sun hesitated. Mr. Gu. I saw Miss Fu drink the drugged water, but the fetus is very healthy. If we perform a cesarean section 2 months early, the child is very likely not to survive. Lucian Gu seemed a bit hesitant. Xiaomai, can't we think of another way? Another way? If there were another way, would I still come to ask you? Su Xiaomei's voice was urgent. Even if she didn't keep the baby, can't she still have another one? But I can no longer have children. Nan is my life. If anything happens to him, I won't live either. This made me so angry that my teeth were itching with hatred. She can't have children, so she wants to take my child's life. I don't understand what you're hesitating about. Are you feeling sorry for her? Su Xiaomai was crying so hard that she couldn't catch her breath. Lucian Gu's voice was cold. Of course not. I'm just worried that being too forceful will escalate the situation and affect the reputation of the Gu family. But now I can't worry about that anymore. Dr. Sun, please prepare for the surgery. After listening to a few people's conversations, I called the police directly. Not long after the phone call was hung up, the sound of footsteps appeared in the corridor. I pretended to faint and lay on the hospital bed. The door opened, and Lucian Gu, fearing I would wake up, suggested that Dr. Sun give me another injection. I suddenly opened my eyes and startled Dr. Sun, who was holding a needle. What are you? He looked at the empty cup on the table with some confusion. Turning against me is not beneficial. Delaying time is the best choice. I just fell asleep. How is the child? When I saw Lucian Gu behind him, I pretended to be shocked. Oh dear husband, what are you doing here? Didn't you have something to do? After all, he is someone who has seen big occasions. Lucian Gu remained calm and collected, not changing his expression. He sat next to me. resting his hand on my shoulder with a face full of sorrow. Dr. Sun said the baby's condition isn't very good, so I rushed over as soon as I could. Dr. Sun quickly took the opportunity to respond. That's right, Miss Fu, I was worried that you might not be able to accept it, so I called Mr. Gu earlier. The child has congenital heart disease. We suggest you terminate the pregnancy. What, Eleanor? I also found it hard to accept when I first heard this news, but I think you, like me, don't want the baby to suffer when born, right? Just thinking about how he will be stuck in a jar of medicine in the future, unable to exercise vigorously, and even running will be dangerous. It's too much suffering. We can't be so selfish. If it weren't for living another life, perhaps I would be deceived by his strong arms and perfect acting. But now, I see through his hypocrisy and just feel disgusted. I shake my head. Honey, isn't it possible to treat heart disease with the family's wealth and resources? Isn't it easy to get a new heart for the child? You know he has been in my belly for 8 months. At first, I couldn't eat anything because of morning sickness, and then I couldn't sleep through the night, suffering a lot. But I got through it all. We listened to his heartbeat together, named him, joyfully awaiting his birth. Can you really bear to give him up now? I almost bit my teeth and said those last 3 words. Lucien Gu's face was pale and unpleasant. Of course, I can't bear it, but... Stop with that. Is the test result accurate? Is it possible the baby hasn't developed well because it's not the right month? Can't we just observe a little longer? Lucien Gu was frowning and still discussing me. I have been trying to reason with him kindly. Unexpectedly, at that moment, the door slammed open. Su Xiaomai burst in with a fruit knife glinting in silver. Lucien Gu, what are you still talking to her for? If she doesn't agree to a cesarean, then I'll help her. Saying that, she rushed towards me. Lucien Gu quickly stopped her. Lucien Gu, is it only when Nan Nan and I die in front of you that you can make up your mind? She cried tragically, making me feel pity for her. Lucien Gu was moved and helped Su Xiaomai up. In his eyes, Su Xiaomai is a good mother. But I know she is selfish and has a cruel heart. After the 2 of them killed my child, I learned the truth and went to confront them. She slapped me hard and mocked. My son is the eldest son of the Gu family. Your bastard is just a vessel to prolong my son's life. She is afraid that I will get entangled, and with Lucien Gu, they will push me down the stairs and kill me. But given the current situation, Lucien Gu won't let her be impulsive. I withdrew my hand that was about to pull out the card knife from my bag and pretended to be frightened, hiding behind Lucien Gu. Honey, what is she saying? Lucien Gu saw that there were traces of blood on Su Xiaomai's neck. Feeling a bit flustered, he turned around and grabbed my wrist. Eleanor, listen, we really can't keep this child. We will have more children. No, I disagree. I bit down hard on his hand with all my strength. Lucien Gu tensed up all over in pain, but still didn't let go. He gave Dr. Sun a look. Stop dawdling. Hurry up. Seeing this, Su Xiaomai also got up to help. A few people were holding me down tightly. Just as the tranquilizer was about to be injected into me, the police arrived. I ran barefoot to their side, tears streaming down my face as I pointed at the people in the house. It's them who want to murder me and my child in my womb. Inside the police station, the police officer from the inspection department handed me the test results. Ms. Fu. The liquid remaining in the cup is not a drug, but a sedative. Dr. Sun said that water is not for you, and we cannot determine its authenticity. I pointed at Lucien Gu and said, but he forced me to have a cesarean section. Lucien Gu pointed at my belly and laughed. That's also my flesh and blood. How could I possibly force you to have a cesarean section? I pointed at Dr. Sun. They colluded to say that my baby has congenital heart disease and suggested I terminate the pregnancy, but I consulted with relevant people. And my child is very healthy. Dr. Sun pondered for a moment. Ms. Fu, if you suspect that my diagnosis is problematic, you can completely raise it and request a re-examination. There's no need to alert the police. I turned around and pointed at Su Xiaomai. What about her? She rushed into the ward with a knife to kill me. Su Xiaomai was extremely wronged. Eleanor Fu, how can you slander me? I was just anxious to save my son and wanted to ask Lucien Gu, his biological father, For help, she pointed to her neck, and this knife is clearly aimed at me. Okay, the three of them have a unified statement and testify to each other. It's as if I have a persecution complex. After leaving the police station, several people got into the car and left. Lucien Gu said with a serious face, Eleanor, since you already know, what are you pretending for? Aren't you the one who's pretending? He frowned and lowered his voice. Eleanor, it was wrong of me to deceive you. But Nan Nan really needs the cord blood. Can you stop being willful? It's just an unborn child. If you want, we can have 10 more. I don't give a damn. How damnable is that remark? Both born and unborn are life. He has seen the vast world for 8 years. But the child in my belly hasn't even seen his mother before being harmed by them. I met Lucien Gu's gaze directly. What if I don't agree? His gaze was like a deep pool, and his voice was icy and piercing. I, Lucien Gu, can get anything I want. And you have no choice, Eleanor Fu. Don't make me use force against you. Now that the topic has come up, then don't blame me. I instantly changed to a smiling face and hooked my arm around his. Lucien, you know I love you very much and I'm willing to do anything for you, so why didn't you just say it earlier? Why go around in such a big circle? You're right, we can still have more children. I promise you to give Nan Nan the umbilical cord blood, but you have to promise me one condition. Lucien Gu didn't expect that I would agree so readily. You can propose any conditions. Luxury villas and cars are all fine, she frowned, but, are you really willing to have a cesarean 2 months in advance? I showed a look of difficulty. So what if I don't want to? But Nan Nan is still your son. My conditions are simple. I don't trust the doctors in the country. I want to go abroad to find foreign experts. What I said is not wrong. Abroad is always more mature in technologies that go against conventions like this. Lucien Gu immediately agreed to my terms. He booked the flight overnight and took me, who was heavily pregnant, and Su Xiaomei's mother and son onto the plane. Inside the cabin, Gu Wanan, wearing a mask and looking utterly exhausted, looked at me with eyes full of hostility. He whispered to Su Xiaomei, Mom, what if she regrets it? I'm so scared I want to die abroad. Su Xiaomei patted his weak body, comforting him. Don't worry, if she dares to play tricks, your dad will make her and the spawn in her belly accompany you to the grave. I closed my eyes with a cold smile, gently stroking my belly. Baby, they probably still don't know. The moment they got on the plane, their lives were already on a countdown. The plane landed in Chicago. Lucien Gu bought 2 villas at the moment. To prevent me from escaping, he had more than 20 bodyguards protecting me outside the villa. At night, while he was taking a shower, I got hold of his phone. The above is his chat history with Su Xiaomei. Su Xiaomei, Lucien, after taking the umbilical cord blood, we can remarry, and she won't cause a scene. Lucien Gu, of course, if it weren't to save Nan, how could I possibly fake a divorce to marry her? No wonder Su Xiaomei said my child is a vessel for saving lives. Back then, when they had a fight, Lucien Gu wanted to annoy her by pursuing me as a single man. He did not hold a wedding for me. Citing the fact that his father passed away less than 3 years ago, after I learned I was pregnant, he suddenly disappeared. Not long after, he confessed to me that he hadn't gotten a divorce. Considering the child, I accompanied him to get a divorce and to obtain the marriage certificate. It turned out that at that time, Nan Nan had already been diagnosed with leukemia. Continue flipping down. She didn't have a chance to make a scene either. Did you not come abroad on your own accord? Then just stay here forever. It seems that Lucien Gu readily agreed to let me come abroad, not wanting me to go back. I coldly changed the appointment for the expert he had booked to my brother-in-law Chi-He. Then I sent a message to my younger sister Fu Rongrong. Are you ready? My sister replied quickly. Sister, let's get started. My faint smile appears on the idle phone screen. Okay, the good show is about to begin. Gu Wanan's condition has worsened. The surgery schedule was moved up a few days. I suggested that I wanted to go out for a stroll. Lucien Gu firmly disagreed. He was afraid that if something went wrong, the plan would be ruined. I was feeling wronged and acting cute. I want to buy some clothes for the baby. His expression did not change. I touched my belly with a crying tone. If the baby really couldn't stay and has to go, he should know how sad it would be for Dad, who couldn't even bear to buy him a piece of clothing. What if he comes looking for you then? I was talking while blowing air behind his ear. Lucien Gu's arm instantly got goosebumps. He looked a bit uncomfortable. Didn't the experts say that taking specific medications 2 months early would promote cell growth, and the baby would survive healthily? I sneered, if there really is such a miraculous medicine. Which mother doesn't want to give birth to her child as soon as possible? It's just something my brother-in-law made up. Perhaps he was afraid I would change my mind halfway. So he picked up his clothes and called the bodyguards in. It's just a piece of clothing. I could easily buy a whole mall for my family. We've long since returned. Although Lucien Gu was reluctant, he was afraid I would cause a stir. So he agreed, inside the mall, even though I am pregnant. I still walked around for more than an hour. Lucien Gu was getting a bit impatient. I smiled and shook his arm, acting cute. Just one last piece, and then we'll go home. I entered the fitting room with a maternity outfit in hand, under his weary gaze. Sister, I haven't seen you for 10 years, I've missed you to death. As soon as I went in, my sister Fu Rongrong hugged me tightly. In the narrow fitting room, there were 2 identical faces in the mirror. One had a pregnant belly, and the other did not. That's right, my sister Fu Rongrong and I are twins, except for my parents. No one can tell the difference. Adding Fu Rongrong, who is broad-minded and plump, is just about the same as my pregnant self. Lucien Gu knows that I have a younger sister abroad, but I have never told him that we look exactly the same. Wasn't he secretly swapping my baby in his previous life? Then in this life, I will repay them with their own methods. Rongrong, do you not doubt at all about my rebirth? Fu Rongrong quickly changed into my makeup and tied the fake pregnancy belly around her waist. Sister, the day you passed away, I had a dream. I dreamed that Lucien Gu changed the brakes and caused you to have a car accident. They weren't in a hurry to perform surgery on you, covered in blood, but were anxious to perform a cesarean section first. Later, you struggled to move in a wheelchair and were pushed down the stairs by those 2 scoundrels. You and your nephew's blood have dyed the whole dream red. We are all crying, but they are laughing. Fu Rongrong gritted her teeth. Scumbag, cheap woman, murderer, they deserve to die, but I still worry about her and Chihi. Fu Rongrong held my hand. Sister, we are not afraid. In America, anything done for freedom can be understood. The day of the surgery, /I was pushed into the delivery room. Su Xiaomai breathed a sigh of relief and mocked while linking arms with Lucien Gu. Eleanor Fu really loves you, but her brain isn't quite enough, and your heart is quite ruthless. You don't even feel sorry. She's just a plaything. How can she compare to you? The nurse said Nan Nan's nosebleed was flowing non-stop and she had to go into the chamber immediately. Su Xiaomai was worried about the bodyguard and urged Lucien Gu through clenched teeth. Keep an eye on Eleanor Fu. Once we get the umbilical cord blood, everything will be over. Before entering the warehouse, she cheered for Gu Wanan. Don't worry, son, Mom and Dad are waiting for you to come out. What no one expected was, I, who had been in the delivery room and was about to undergo a cesarean section, suddenly disappeared on the operating table. Lucien Gu went crazy. He frantically searched the operating room, cursing. The bodyguards immediately retrieved the surveillance footage at the entrance. Except for a few nurses wearing masks coming in and out, there were no pregnant women coming out at all. He roared at the dean with scarlet eyes. Where are the people? How could living people just disappear? The dean couldn't understand what he was going on about and directly called the police. This surgery was originally done privately across departments, and he had to promise the experts to keep it confidential. It was publicly stated as a normal bone marrow donation, but in fact, it was umbilical cord blood treatment. But Su Xiaomai was crying and shouting for Lucien Gu to find someone. Lucien Gu had no choice but to say everything. The dean mumbled something, translating and explaining. The dean said that the expert you mentioned went abroad for further studies yesterday. Lucien Gu was stunned, sitting on the ground with a pale face. Who has been contacting me and promised the surgery? Su Xiaomai fiercely slapped Lucien Gu on the face. Lucien Gu, is this how unreliable you are at your job? Even if you got the wrong doctor, how could you lose sight of such a big living person? She was pulled away by the police but still shouted loudly, Nan has already entered the warehouse. If we can't find Eleanor Fu, he will be doomed. Doomed. Lucian Gu, covering his swollen face, looked panicked and grabbed the police officer. My wife has inexplicably disappeared from this hospital, and she's pregnant. Please help me find her. The police officers conducted a thorough search in every department, but found nothing. Lucian Gu felt like he wanted to tear the floor of the delivery room apart, but they did not know. After entering the operating room, Fu Rongrong took off her fake pregnancy belly and swaggered out in nurse's attire. She just entered the house and is complaining to me that the fake pregnancy belly is unbearably hot. My brother-in-law he soon returned with a few bags of vegetables. He threw the broken SIM card into the trash can and rolled up his sleeves to start picking vegetables. Isn't my sister craving hot pot? Let's start cooking it at noon. This kind of surgery is originally also against ethics, and the police have no solution. I'm not convenient to go out, so Fu Rongrong took a long leave to accompany me. A few weeks have passed, and everything is fine on my side. On the other side, however, there is the eavesdropper. Lucian Gu and Su Xiaomai were having a huge argument. It's all your fault for insisting on listening to her about America. It's been a week now and we still can't find her. What will Nan Nan do? I can't believe you are still the CEO of GU Group. You messed up this little thing. Aren't you embarrassed? Lucian Gu was a bit impatient. Can you stop dragging this out? Who knows how she just disappeared out of nowhere? You say I've embarrassed you. But aren't you making a scene yourself? Eleanor Fu, no matter how bad it gets, wouldn't act like the shrew you are. Su Xiaomai was so angry that she got into a fight with him. Can you stop going crazy? A loud slapping sound came, and Su Xiaomai cried out loudly, Lucian Gu, are you even human? How could you hit me? So you're thinking of her good side now, right? Fine, then hurry up and find her, save my son, and I'll give you a place to stay. Lucian Gu did not respond for a long time. A moment later, the sound of fabric tearing came. Listening device, he sneered, his voice harsh into the microphone. Eleanor Fu, you are listening, right? Playing with me, hey. You are really something. Do you want to see what happens when you mess with me? I know you haven't returned to the country, you still have a little over a month until your due date. Right, hide well, give birth secretly, just don't let me find you. Right after that came a sharp sound of electric current. Fu Rongrong covered her ears and frowned. Sister, Gu Wanan probably can't last a month, it's not a problem to drag him down. But what about Lucian Gu? No matter what he does, he will find us. And I'm afraid he might be a threat to you and my nephew. I glanced at the gun on the wall and smiled. Look, isn't this what he brought upon himself? 3 days before the due date, Gu Wennan died. It was Chi-He who found out in the hospital. I heard that he was bleeding from his nose when he died, and weakly cried out, I no longer trust you. Su Xiaomai fainted on the spot. Lucian Gu smashed the glass door with a punch. Fu Rongrong helped me prepare the necessities for production. Sister, all the hospitals have people from him, and I heard that Lucian Gu has already searched the street next door. It should be in the next couple of days. She might be afraid I'll worry, picking up the small clothes and gesturing over my belly. But don't worry, my dear, your aunt will protect you and your mother with her life. No matter what. The two of us had just finished speaking. The landline in the room rang. It was Lucian Gu. His voice was hoarse. Eleanor Fu is your twin sister, right? You guys are doing a pretty good job at this body swap. Tell me where you live. I know this was all her idea. I don't blame you. But she killed my son. I want to ask her face to face. Fu Rongrong scoffed. You still blame me. Who do you think you are? I haven't even asked you why you wanted to harm my nephew. Yet you come here with that attitude. Lucian Gu, if your conscience has been eaten by a dog, should you go find the dog to ask for it back? Lucian Gu's voice trembled. You believe it or not? My family will let you all. Hurry up and shut your mouth. If it weren't for the Gu family elder leaving the family property to you, you would be nothing. With your kind of mindset and values, you really embarrass the Gu family. Fu Rongrong wrote down my words. Each sentence stabbing directly into Lucian Gu's artery. He hates it the most when others say he is worthless and only relies on the Gu family. Well, just wait for me to send my son to his funeral. Fu Rongrong spat and said, hurry up, idiot. The call was hung up. Fu Rongrong went to check the several surveillance cameras installed outside the yard again. She clapped her hands. Sister, within a radius of 100 meters, 360 degrees with no blind spots. Nevertheless, my sister and brother-in-law took turns keeping watch. The night before my due date, they have arrived. The baby is kicking in my belly. I couldn't sleep well and went to the living room. Under the dim moonlight, the room was not lit. Fu Rongrong and Chi-He saw me come out and made a shushing gesture. Chi-Chi pointed at the surveillance camera. In the footage, Lucian Jiyu and Su Xiaomai were surrounded by more than a dozen bodyguards outside my yard. They were wearing sunglasses and were bundled up tightly. A few people broke the door lock and came in. The door was knocked loudly by them. Chi-He glanced at me and Fu Rongrong and asked, "Who is it? Take my wife home." I responded, "I don't want to go back with you. You guys go ahead." Su Xiaomai angrily scolded, wanting to provoke me to go out. "You filthy bitch. You killed my son and still want to live in peace. Come out quickly, or we'll come in." Fu Rongrong has been difficult to deal with since she was little. She has a loud voice and starts cursing across the way, cursing so dirty. Oh wow, cursing someone else's wife with someone else's husband at night. How shameless are you? What does your dog bark about? Your son deserves to die. Go ask the king of hell. Su Xiaomai was so angry that she was out of breath. You deserve to die. You should die. What are you standing here for like an idiot? Break in and drag them out, that foul-mouthed bitch. I'll make sure to slap her to death. When the door was violently hit, we turned on the video and shouted outside the door, "We have guns. Don't seek death." A bodyguard seemed hesitant. "Mr. Gu, this is a home invasion to kidnap someone." Su Xiaomai speaks sarcastically. "If you're scared, just roll away. You useless thing." Lucian Gu pouts. "They're just scared of being scared. Right, shooting. Does Eleanor Fu have the guts for that? You guys are taking Eleanor Fu back today. I'll buy each of you a villa." The eyes of several bodyguards brightened, and they were instantly empowered by the encouragement. Bang bang, knocking on the door, but they didn't see it. Lucian Gu quietly pulled Su Xiaomai back a bit. What if they really have guns? Eleanor Fu wouldn't dare, but her brother-in-law is hard to say. If it really comes to a fight later, let's stand back. Su Xiaomai's eyes sparkled. That's right, you thought it through quite well. Chi-He carefully took the gun down from the wall. He was wiping the gun and muttering, "Thoughtful my ass. This is a shotgun. A single round can take down 10 or 8. Come in if you dare, I'll make them a bloody mess." Seeing that they wouldn't listen to advice, we had no choice but to take up our guns and look serious at the camera. We were sleeping soundly when someone was banging on the door, saying they were going to kill us. I originally didn't want to take action, but I had no choice for self-preservation. After a violent impact, the door opened. Several people rushed in instantly. The gun in Chi-He's hand fired with a bang. Under the dim light, sparks flew. Several bodyguards were thrown far away and instantly fell to the ground motionless. A few who surged in the back hadn't reacted yet and all fell to the ground after a gunshot. The beige floor was a bloody mess. Covered in bright red, Lucian Jiyu and Su Xiaomai were dumbfounded to see more than 10 people lose their lives in an instant. The two of them collapsed to the ground together. Chi-He blew on the smoking gun muzzle and handed the gun to me. "Sister, these 2 main dishes are left for you. When disaster strikes, who isn't afraid of death?" I aimed the gun at 2 people, and they both ducked back. Su Xiaomai completely lost her earlier momentum. She knelt on the ground with a crying tone. "I was wrong, Eleanor Fu. Let me go. I just lost my son and lost my sanity. Please don't kill me." Lucian Jiyu pretended to calm himself and got up. "Eleanor, we were wrong. Let us go. I won't pursue those people who died. Let's just forget about Nan Nan's matter. Can we settle this once and for all?" He watched me caressing my belly, his voice trembling. "And Eleanor, if you kill me, your baby won't have a father." I remained silent. Su Xiaomai seemed to have found a flaw. She got up and quietly whispered while blocking Lucian Jiyu ahead, "She can't bear to take action against you. Hurry and grab the gun." Lucian Jiyu thought I didn't hear him. He stood up and discussed with me as he walked. "Let's talk nicely about what we have. Put down the gun. I know you don't want to shoot me." Just when he thought he was going to succeed, bang, the closer, the more accurate it becomes. Lucian Gu's face instantly exploded. Under the moonlight, he lay twisted on the ground, dying instantly, and I stumbled from the recoil of the gun. But fortunately, Chihi supported me. A sharp pain shot through my abdomen. While the two of them were checking on my situation, Su Xiaomai quickly got into the car and slipped away. Fu Rongrong picked up the gun to chase, but Chihi stopped her. Don't worry about her. First take my sister to the hospital. The baby is about to be born. The baby was born a night earlier. It's a son. My sister and my brother-in-law delivered the baby. Like me, very healthy and lively. I didn't give him the name we agreed upon earlier. Instead, I called him Fu Xingxing. He is a freshman. And so am I. The police are waiting at the delivery room door. My sister Fu Rongrong negotiated with the police the whole time. They can completely prove, through surveillance and the accounts of several neighbors, that a large group of them broke into our residence. Our counterattack is justified. In the United States, shooting a burglar during a break-in is not a problem at all. After sending off the police, Fu Rongrong still felt a bit upset. It's a pity that woman got away. I patted her shoulder to comfort her. I believe that it would be more painful for her to be alive than to die, because the child needs to be registered after birth. I didn't stay long before returning to my country. Before getting on the plane, both Fu Rongrong and I were wiping our tears. I've caused you all trouble and made you move. When are you coming back to the country? I'll treat you and your brother-in-law to dinner. Fu Rongrong looked helpless. Sister, we have just stabilized here. And we don't know what we can do when we go back. Mom is getting older. I'll earn money for a few more years, and then I'll go back. She put the longevity lock on the newborn's neck, teasing him. Little one, earn more money in the future, and your aunt will rely on you to support her. I waved the baby's little hand and spoke in a high-pitched voice. No problem, Aunt, I will work hard. Fu Rongrong choked up while hugging me for a long time, and finally she looked a bit worried. Sister, you killed the only son of the Gu family. The Gu family will definitely make things difficult for you. Why not call the police now, let them pick you up at the airport, and request to send more police for comprehensive protection? No need. I lowered my head to look at the newborn in my arms, smiling calmly. Having him as a protector is enough. He is the only bloodline of the Gu family. What am I afraid of? Things are much smoother than I imagined. The elder members of the Gu family are heartbroken, but after understanding the facts, they realize that no matter how much they fuss, the family assets all belong to the newborn. So they simply chose to turn a blind eye. I patted this little guy. It seems your aunt didn't have the wrong expectations of you. A few months later, Fu Rongrong and her family returned to the country. The two of them have various certificates and qualifications in order. I bought them a villa and opened a private obstetrics and gynecology hospital. On my mom's birthday, I took the newborn to the hospital to pick them up. On the way back, the two of them were teasing the newborn and laughing happily. Passing by the square, a group of elderly people were dancing square dance. The newborn couldn't help but dance in my arms while listening to music. My nephew likes it. Go take a look. Just as we were about to go up the steps, a figure rushed towards me. Fu Rongrong quickly pulled me aside with swift hands and keen eyes. The person tumbled down the stairs, rolling and crawling. Coincidentally, a car was speeding by. The onlookers gasped. We all ran down. Under the twilight of dawn and dusk, the person lying on the ground turned out to be Su Xiaomai. Her face was pale, and after twitching a few times, she fell into a coma. That leg had already been deformed from being crushed. It looks very similar to my previous life. On the day I returned to the country, Fu Rongrong accused Su Xiaomai of trespassing into a famous residence. She spent a large sum of money to be exempt from the lawsuit and returned to the country smoothly. But without the support of Lucian Gu, she lived in uncertainty. Today, by chance, I ran into her, and seeing our family happy and harmonious, she wanted to perish together with me. The driver hurriedly got out of the car to report the incident and called for an ambulance. Later, I heard that she became disabled and could not take care of herself, relying solely on a wheelchair to get by every day. Even later, I saw her once. On the day we took the family portrait, she was bent over, struggling to pick up trash. Passers-by are pointing and whispering. This woman used to be very glamorous. But later I heard that she faked a divorce with her ex-husband to save a child with leukemia, deceiving a girl into getting pregnant and forcing her to have a cesarean to take cord blood. in the end, her son didn't survive, her husband died, and now she is like this. Well, she really brought this upon herself. So this person, their heart must be set right, otherwise the heavens will surely punish you. I tilt my head up, the sky is azure. Thank you, heavens, grant me a new life.